Rebel Canners, teaching all kinds of food preservation, especially the old ways. We all can use a little bit more of the old ways these days. All right, so I'm going to use this Mrs. Wages packet and my frozen tomatoes from last year that I've thawed out, and I'm going to make pizza sauce today. So this says I need about 18 medium tomatoes. I'm going to use my 1 gallon bag of frozen tomatoes, which are, I don't know, I'll count them. So let me turn you around. I'm going to get the tomatoes in here and get the skins off, maybe get them run through the blender and see where we go from there. And you can see I cut the tops, and I have never done this frozen before, but they say if you squeeze them, they will come right out of the skin, which they are doing pretty well, and peel a lot easier. You don't have to scald them. You can just take the tops and the core out, and there you go. All right, I'm going to do this to 17 or more of these. Okay, because this is boiling, I'm going to be very, very careful with this immersion blender, but I'm going to blend out as much of this tomato as I can. Okay, I gotta have both hands. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add the Mrs. Wages. Now that I've got them all blended. And let it simmer for 25 minutes. I also need to add the sugar, which I haven't added yet. So, get this all in there and let it simmer. And then it will be ready to jar up. And it does look pretty good, but it does look a little thin yet. So it's gonna need that 25 minutes. I'm glad I got all the water I could out of those tomatoes. And there was quite a bit, as you can see, in there. So, all right, I'm going to add the sugar. It says 5 tablespoons. I'm going to add that and let this simmer. It smells like pizza sauce. All right, here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, gonna put it down here on low and let it simmer. All right, I'll be back when it's time to jar them up. All right, so our sauce has simmered. I gotta shut that off. Sauce has simmered, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it jarred up so I can get it water bath. This is a 40-minute water bath. So get this jarred up. Over here. Should be about 6 pints of pizza sauce. See if I guesstimated with my eyeball the right amount of tomatoes. And I'm leaving about a 1/2 inch headspace. And again, this is a Mrs. Wages recipe. We'll do a taste comparison and figure out if there's 3. Yeah, I think I'm going to be about right. Pretty darn close. 4, and I don't know that I have a whole pint left, so I'm going to do a 1/2 pint. All right, go around, and even though I use the funnel, I'm going to wipe all my lids really, really good. And it made 4 1/2, because these are quarter jars. These on. I got my superb blue lids that I prefer to use. I'm just using those first ones because they came with the jars I just had to buy. So we'll get those on. I'll get my rings on, and we'll get them in the water bath for 40 minutes. All right. So just finger tight on the superb ones, which is hard to do one-handed here. All right. I will double check my recipe and get back to you. So a packet of Mrs. Wages is about $3.68. And I think you could probably buy just the spices, because that's all it is, not even the sugar for it, for less. So I'm going to look into that. This recipe only made 4 1/2 pints. So not real cost effective if you have to do big batches. If you like my content, please hit the like button so I know to make more of this type of video. Thank you, Rebel Canners.